Stop. You're at a table. There's a glass of water in front of you, half full, half empty, depending on your outlook. But what if it were literally half empty? Not just the water missing, the emptiness is real. A perfect vacuum in the bottom half of the glass. The top half is water. The bottom half is nothing. Not air, nothing. What happens next? Do you just see an empty space? Does the glass explode? Or does something even stranger occur? Over the next few minutes, I'm taking you through the most violent glass of water in history. The day a philosophical metaphor became a physics nightmare. Grab your coffee and stand back, because this glass is about to explode. Before we destroy a glass of water, let's understand the question. The phrase, "Is the glass half empty or half full?" is a classic philosophical test. If you say half full, you're an optimist. If you say half empty, you're a pessimist. But what if you took it literally? What if a glass of water was suddenly, magically, half empty? Not just the water missing, a real vacuum. Nothing. No air, no water, just emptiness. Randall Munroe received this question from Vittorio Iacovella and answered it in his What If blog. Here's the setup. You have a glass of water. It's perfectly normal. Half full of water, half full of air. Then suddenly, the air disappears. The top half is water, the bottom half is a perfect vacuum. Now what happens? Let's start with the physics. The water is at room temperature, 20 degrees Celsius. The pressure outside the glass is normal, 1 atmosphere. But the pressure inside the bottom half is 0, a perfect vacuum. The water is sitting on top of the vacuum. It's not supported by anything. It's held up by surface tension and the walls of the glass. But surface tension is weak. It can only hold a few millimeters of water, not half a glass. The water is going to fall, but it's not going to fall gently. It's going to fall violently. The water falls into the vacuum. It's not a gentle slosh, it's free fall. Gravity pulls the water down at 9.8 meters per second squared. The water accelerates. It hits the bottom of the glass with a tremendous impact. But here's the thing. When water falls into a vacuum, it doesn't just splash, it vaporizes. The pressure is so low that the water boils, not from heat, from pressure drop. This is the same principle that makes water boil at room temperature when you put it in a vacuum chamber. The boiling point of water depends on pressure. At 1 atmosphere, it boils at 100 degrees Celsius. At 0.01 atmospheres, it boils at room temperature. The water in the glass is suddenly exposed to 0 pressure. It boils violently. The water turns to steam. The steam expands rapidly. The pressure inside the glass skyrockets. Within milliseconds, the glass is under immense pressure. The steam is pushing outward. The water is splashing. The glass is shaking. And then it breaks. The glass shatters. The water explodes outward. Steam blasts in all directions. Anyone nearby is hit by glass shards, boiling water, and steam. It's like a tiny bomb. But the explosion is just the beginning. Because now the vacuum is gone, but the pressure is still changing. But wait, the question says the glass is half empty. It doesn't specify which half. What if the vacuum is on top? That changes everything. If the top half of the glass is a vacuum and the bottom half is water, the water is at the bottom. It's stable. It's not falling. But the vacuum is in contact with the surface of the water. The water at the surface is exposed to 0 pressure. It boils. Not violently, but steadily. The water evaporates into the vacuum. The glass slowly fills with steam. The water level drops. The water cools. Why does it cool? Because evaporation takes heat. The water loses heat to the steam. It cools down. It might even freeze. Within minutes, the water would freeze solid. A block of ice in a glass. The steam would condense on the walls of the glass, forming frost. So the location of the vacuum matters. If the vacuum is at the bottom, the glass explodes. If the vacuum is at the top, the glass freezes. That's the beauty of the question. It's not just about emptiness, it's about where the emptiness is. Let's zoom in on the physics of the bottom vacuum scenario. The water falls, it vaporizes, the pressure rises, but the pressure doesn't rise equally. It creates a shockwave. The shockwave travels through the water. It hits the walls of the glass. It reflects back. It creates pressure waves that shatter the glass from the inside. The steam expands rapidly. It pushes the water outward. The water is now a projectile. It hits the walls. It hits the floor. It hits anything nearby. And then there's the heat. When the water vaporizes, it absorbs heat. The remaining water cools. The glass cools. The air around the glass cools. For a moment, the glass is surrounded by a cloud of cold water vapor. It's like a tiny thunderstorm on your table. But then the pressure equalizes. The steam condenses. The water returns to liquid. The glass is gone. The table is wet. The room is messy. And the philosophical question remains unanswered. Is the glass half empty? The glass isn't there anymore. It's in pieces on the floor. Now let's scale up the question. What if it wasn't a glass of water? What if it was a bathtub, a swimming pool, a lake? The physics changes. A larger volume of water has more mass. It falls with more force. It creates a bigger shockwave. It vaporizes more violently. A bathtub of water with a vacuum at the bottom would create a steam explosion that could destroy a room. The pressure wave would shatter windows. The steam would scald anyone nearby. A swimming pool of water with a vacuum at the bottom would be a catastrophe. The water would fall. It would vaporize. The pressure wave would be like a bomb. The steam would be like a cloud of boiling water. People would be killed. A lake of water with a vacuum at the bottom would be an extinction event. The water would fall, vaporize, create a shockwave that leveled forests, and release a cloud of steam that caused widespread burns and lung damage. But that's not the most dangerous part. The most dangerous part is the vacuum itself. A vacuum of that size would suck in air from the surroundings. It would create a blast of wind that would make the water explosion look like a breeze. So the glass is the safest scenario. The bathtub is dangerous. The swimming pool is deadly. The lake is apocalyptic. But the question is about a glass, a single glass of water, and the answer is surprisingly violent. So what does a half-empty glass teach us? It teaches us that perspective matters. If the vacuum is on the bottom, the glass explodes. If the vacuum is on the top, the glass freezes. Same glass, same water, different outcome. It teaches us that physics is about details. Where is the emptiness? How big is it? What's the pressure? What's the temperature? It teaches us that optimism and pessimism are not just about attitude. They're about physics, about the location of the emptiness, about the consequences of the emptiness. In the book, Munroe takes the question literally and gives it a literal answer. The glass would explode, or freeze, depending on the arrangement. And that's the beauty of what-if questions. They take abstract ideas and make them concrete. They take philosophical metaphors and turn them into physics problems. So the next time someone asks you if the glass is half empty or half full, you can say, it depends on where the vacuum is, and you'll be right. So here's the verdict. If a glass of water were literally half empty, with a vacuum in the empty half, the result depends on where the vacuum is. If the vacuum is at the bottom, the water falls, vaporizes, creates a pressure wave, and shatters the glass. It's a tiny steam explosion. If the vacuum is at the top, the water boils, evaporates, cools, and freezes. The glass becomes a block of ice. The philosophical question becomes a physics problem, and the answer is violent or cold, depending on your perspective. And that's the point. The question isn't about optimism, it's about physics, and physics doesn't care about your attitude, it just cares about the vacuum. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe and hit the bell. And don't forget to tell me in the comments, is your glass half empty or is it about to explode? See you in the next video. Stay curious, stay safe.